The YWCA Racial Justice Program, whenever we initially started this years ago, it really was starting out on the individual level. But we quickly realized that this was something that if we wanted to truly make an impact, that we have to move beyond the individual and move into the systems and the institutions that perpetuate racism.
We tend to find that with the word Muslim, we often get discriminated against. And I feel like there's probably a big part of the community who has, they're a little bit leery about approaching law enforcement. They just don't feel like they're going to get a fair shake.
I started looking at the perception of police in our communities. We have many police departments. The lack of respect, I think, stems from the negative perception of communities of color and police. And I really felt a need to drill down into why that was.
The more people of different cultures and ethnicities that we have contact with, I think will break down some of those barriers. Some people are just bullheaded, and you know, you've got your extremes, you've got your left and your right, and those people, I'm not sure you're ever really going to change them. But it's the ones in the middle, you know, it's the 80% of people in the middle that we can deal with and that are rational and willing to listen and carry on a dialogue, which is what we've been doing with the Chiefs program.
When you enter law enforcement, you really think you're entering a professional field, and you think you're treating everybody fairly and correctly and without prejudice. And what you later learn, some of the exposure that I've had at the Y, is, you know, our mindset is still that we're there to do a particular job, and we're going to do it regardless of what has to be done to get it done. But you have to recognize some of the essence that come with the different cultures, and that's where you start to learn, is that you can still get your job done, you just may have to do it a little differently than you would normally do it.
To start with some of the systemic work, we've worked with the school districts, we've worked in higher education, and the newest part of all of this is working within law enforcement.
We first met with the female officers in October, and there were about 15 women from the law enforcement group and 15 Muslim women. And in choosing the Muslim women to attend, I made sure that there were people from all different backgrounds, converts. We have Puerto Rican, we have American, African American, Palestinian, Lebanese, Pakistani. So we had a wide assortment because it was important for these officers to see that we're not one uniform blanket group. We're very different and come from different backgrounds.
They opened up and said, let's find some female law enforcement officers that want to meet with the Muslim women. As the deputy chief, the officers were looking at me to say, is this truly open dialogue? Are we free to express and air any concerns or thoughts and not have it impact us negatively, with me as the deputy chief thinking, wow, so that's what you guys have been thinking all along? And I said, no, because I'm going there too, because I have questions, I have a perception, and I'm willing to break through that perception to find out if what I'm seeing and what I think is true or what the reality is. And so then the officers got excited about it, and then we're all ready to join in.
One of my female officers is involved in the Muslim dialogue with the Muslim women. After their first meeting, and I think Chris even said that they were so engrossed with the conversation.
We ended up staying almost, some of us 20, 30 minutes after Chris had left, just talking amongst ourselves in casual conversation. I felt really good about it. I felt that we had really been able to reach a lot of those women in a way that, and make them think about things in a way that they never thought about before, which is important. I mean,
my officer came back and she produced a training bulletin for the other officers of the things that they had talked about, things that she had learned about the Muslim community, and things that our officers, the male officers as well as my other female officer, need to be aware of. You know, that was maybe an aha moment.
When you get to meet and you hear the exposure and the different things people have gone through, it hits you in the heart. It takes you on that personal journey on top of it, and you realize, boy, that's the cause and effect of some type of negative interaction.
It's helpful for me to just, like a refresher, you know, of my training, my education, my experiences that I've gone through. I mean, I've been in law enforcement for almost 4 decades.
I think it's wonderful that they felt that safe and that comfortable to be able to have and start those relationships. It makes me feel great that we were able to start something like that and to hear that it's already had an impact on at least one family in our community.
And it's so hard to express how exciting and how much I enjoyed just having that opportunity to just interact with no pressure, no expectations. We just simply really get to know each other. And at the end of the day, we all said, well, we had some common threads. We're wives and daughters and grandmothers, and we had all those common bonds already there.